here from All Miniatures Great and Small. Today we're going to be unboxing and taking a look at the KV-5 Tank Company. This is a Soviet release for the Eastern Front compilation books. It's part of like the Midwar monster re-release, if you will. So I wanted to pick up at least one Midwar monster or one kind of unique unit for each faction in the book. So I ordered the KV-5 just because I think one, it looks cool, and two, its stats are kind of insane for Midwar, but primarily just because it looks really, really cool. You can see the box cover, just, you know, these things are beasts. Midwar Soviets on the backside. We see that. We get 2 KV-5s and 2 unit cards in here, and see more Eastern Front. For this, we have done a couple of Eastern Front battles. I think they're mostly on the Patreon. I can't remember if there's a YouTube one or not, but Eastern Front is a lot of fun. It's interesting. I never played it before this compilation release, and I find it very, very interesting. It's a good, interesting mix of units. All right, so let's take a look at this. Most of these boxes run, you know, you can find them discounted online. I think I paid $24 for this, or something along the lines. You've got the unit card. We'll take a look at that in a second. Then we've got just the huge, and this is a heavy box. This is obviously a callback to Flames of War, when almost all of the models were metal and resin. You've got just the giant track pieces. After I get these assembled, I'll go ahead and get out some other models to show you a comparison as far as size. But we have tracks, we have turrets, and metal barrels, and other doodads. So very cool. All right, let's take a little look at this. You got that ladder on the sides. That's a long climb to get up there. And it is similar to the KV-2, which is a huge tank in its own right. But overall, there's a little shininess here. Probably just need a little wash to get some of that mold release agent off. But that's very common for this type of, you know, working in this type of medium. Okay, we've got the top. There is some interesting detail, bins on the sides, the engine deck. Again, it's got that release agent on it. So this one in particular has a lot. Sometimes I don't worry about it, but this one feels like you can actually feel it's a little greasy, but nothing a little soapy water won't won't fix. You've got 4 turrets, as I think you get a turret on the roof and a turret in the hull for each one of these. And then you've got just these ginormous track pieces, which are just huge. Wow, that's really big. And then let's take a look at what we get in the cards. You get a Soviet force sheet, which really is not that important, and then you have the actual unit card itself, and we can see this monster of a tank. It's hit on a 2+, but with front armor 14, side armor 10, top armor 2, this thing is just a beast. I mean, not even Tigers are going to be, you know, 88s are going to be penetrating this thing from the front. It's impervious to 88s, and how often does that happen in any list? And then the KV-5 has that 107mm gun, which is anti-tank 14, 2+ firepower. So not quite the range of like the 88, as far, you know, most 88s are 40-inch range, I believe. So they're shorter range, but it is better firepower than an 88, same anti-tank. And nicely. It doesn't have anything like slow firing or anything like that, so there's not going to be a penalty for moving and shooting that gun, beside the fact that you're just going to get one shot. All right, we're going to go ahead and assemble these so you can see them assembled, and then I'll get out some other models so you can kind of compare the size of these to to the other models in the range. Well, there you go. Very simple build process on these. Not I didn't have any problems that I can think of. They went together really well. The tracks, they don't have any like positive or negative slots to slot them in, but they're stamped with left and right, so even someone like me could figure it out. The turret is so heavy that I probably am going to put magnets in it, but you could probably get away without magnets if you wanted to, but magnets are the way to go, I think, with these, just because that turret is so heavy. Overall, though, the models are fantastic. They are huge models. They are giant. Just to give you an idea, here is another Midwar monster. This is the American Midwar monster. I think the biggest American Midwar monster or wildcard unit. This is the M6 heavy tank, and you can kind of see the size difference there. It's just ridiculous. Even something like a late war King Tiger is just kind of tiny next to this thing, which is kind of amazing. Now, I will mention this, as I've mentioned it in other videos talking about these wild cards or Midwar monsters, is the fact that the KV-5 never really made it into production and never really appeared on the battlefield. They just started preliminary construction, and then they got sidetracked with the state of the war going the way it was, and these things were never built. So if you have a problem with ahistorical vehicles in your games of Flames of War, these kind of wild card units are not going to be exciting for you. And as a result, too, I don't think I would ever play these without getting the okay with my opponent, letting him know that I was interested in a less historical scenario and more of a what-if scenario. You would not want to, especially something with stats like this, you would not want to spring this on someone unsuspecting just because of the stats being crazy. Now, they are expensive. If you're playing a 100-point battle, this is like a third of your force right here. But if your opponent doesn't know you have this or want to bring it, one, you probably want to tell them because just on the grounds of fairness, and two, they might not want to play with ahistorical vehicles, which is totally fine. I see both sides of that coin and totally get it. But otherwise, as far as a model goes, these went together really well. They look amazing. They look very scary, and I'm looking forward to painting them and adding them to my Soviets. Now, how I'm going to paint them, I'm going to paint them like the box with this green and tan, or just go with my normal Soviet paint scheme. I'm not sure. These are so big, I'm not sure if just all green is going to look good, but if you slap a few decals on there, maybe it'll look just fine. So we'll see. I'm sure these will be on what's on the table coming up soon. So there you go, guys. That's a look at the KV-5 Tank Company from the Eastern Front release, Flames of War Midwar. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do consider giving us a like and subscribe. If you like our Flames of War content, check out our Flames of War Patreon. If you like just in general everything we do here at All Miniatures Great and Small, consider joining at that YouTube membership down below, where members get access to early access videos, emojis, and much more. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.